All right, well, good evening, teammates. Robert Nelson here, coming to you from the great ATL, Atlanta, Georgia. I'm going to go over my normal everyday presentation um, to generate investment clientele base. I've been licensed in investing for about I've been in Primerica 14 years, so I've probably been licensed about 12 of those 14 years. One of the things I do is I'm really big on making sure I get a PAC, at least a PAC with every app that I take. And also I search for the bigger lump sum monies that people have in their savings account, old 401ks, rollovers as well. I really don't use a whole lot of brochures or anything. Pretty much when I go to the kitchen table, of course, I have my input sheet. I have my FNA or basic illustration. I'll show you how I use that. And of course, my tablet. All right, so these are the basic tools that I have, in addition to the prospectuses and the fact cards when I'm selling mutual funds or what have you. All right, but for the most part, I don't get all cerebral on people. What I do is I keep it very simple, get them to understand the importance of investing. I know when you do an F&A, it shows um, the uh, the actual FIN number, financial independence number, taking into account the inflation and all that other stuff. The problem with that is we're dealing with most people who aren't investing at all, or they have very little. So to get them to concentrate on the big number, I think it flies right over their head. So if you give them something they can really focus on and simple to understand, just to get them started in the habit of investing. And then as time goes on, of course, as you're servicing your clients, you'll get more and more money. So with that being said, I'm just going to go quickly over how I generate investment clientele base. Okay. Um, I always start off my presentations, of course, by introducing myself and letting them know how long I've been helping people invest money. Um, so I'm gonna just do a presentation, just go through how I do it. I'll start off by saying this, Ms. Klein, thank you for giving me your time. The reason why I'm here today is, hopefully to generate your business as a client. Um, I've been with the business for 14 years doing Primerica, and I currently have around 3,000 clients that I service right now. I've managed around $3 million of assets under management, which can include retirement accounts, college accounts, things of that nature. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. All right, so then I'll go through what do you currently do, how long you've been doing that, what do you like about it, what do you dislike about it. Those questions are very important when it comes to um, determine if this client is going to be a good investment client for you. It lets you know if they're stable, lets you know if if they make the money um, needed, at least the minimum money needed to do a plan. Now I know the minimum for most people is $50, whatever, but I always try to shoot for a minimum of $100 investment commitment. Right, so I need to make sure the people can pay for that, can afford that. I mean, all right, so after I go get through all that, I'll start off my presentation by telling the client, look, I protect against two things. There are two things that's for sure. You're either going to live too long or you're going to die too soon. Either one of those things is going to happen. So in either of those situations, you need to make sure that you have enough money to prepare yourself for either of those situations. And to prepare yourself against these two things, you must know your financial independence number. Do you know what your financial independence number is? Now, 9 times out of 10, nobody's ever heard of that. So I explained to him your financial independence number is the amount of money you would need to have in order to have a comfortable retirement. It's also the amount of money you need to have in order for your family to be okay should you die prematurely. And so to help you figure out your financial independence number, We use a very simple concept uh, using the acronym DIME. Now, the D in DIME stands for debt and your final expenses. The I is for income replacement. The M is for mortgage, and the E is for education for your children. So then I'll go through the dime with that particular client. So, okay, Mr. and Ms. Client, we're going to figure out what your financial independence number is. So I ask how much debt do they have, of course, and and I add $15,000 to that for the final expense. I never say death at the kitchen table because when we're doing our presentations, you want to make sure you're speaking life. And everybody wants to be able to save money for a better future. Nobody wants to talk about burying their getting buried or funerals or things of that nature. So we don't have that kind of conversation, okay? I stands for income replacement. So then I ask Mr. and Mrs. Client, when you retire, how much money do you want coming in every month? Would you want 50% or 100% of what you're bringing in or more? And most people will say 100% or they'll say more. And so then I ask them, how much money would you like to make a year? Have a year coming in, or it could be a month. If they say a month, so they will say they want to have $5,000 a month coming in. Okay, so we know that's $60,000 a year. So now, keep it very simple. I keep it very simple. Instead of trying to figure out inflation and all that other stuff, just add a zero to the end of what they want to make a year. So if they say $60,000 a year, you put $600,000. Okay, so $600,000. 10% interest is $60,000 a year. All right. So I'll put that amount of money down. Then I ask them, what is an ideal retirement age for you? What age would you like to retire? Most people say between 60 and 65 years old. So let's just say they say 65 years old. So I'll write that number right there, 65 years old, on this line right here. It says age at retirement. It would be 65 years old. So 65, then I ask, how old are you right now? So in my case, I'm 47, right? So I'm looking at a good 20 years, give or take. So I let them know, okay, so we got about 20 years to accumulate that $600,000, okay? Mortgage, how much money do you owe on your house to completely pay your house off? And they'll tell me that number. And then education for your children. Now I always ask, how many children do you have under the age of 16 that you have hopes that they may want to go to college? And so they'll tell me 2 kids, 3 kids, whatever. So in my case, I got 2. So now some people's different. Some people say $50,000 per child for college. Some people say $100,000. I use $50,000. It's not an Ivy League school, but it's not a one of them cheap schools either. It's like a junior college or whatever. So in my case, it'd be 2 children, so that's $100,000 for the education for the kids. So once I got those numbers together, I add them up. Okay, so just for training purposes, let's just say you got $50,000 for debt and final expenses $15,000, so that's $75,000 they need for that. $600,000 for the income replacement, $100,000 for the mortgage. So now we're at 775,000 and 100,000 for the kids, so 875,000. So what I do is I'll say, okay, your financial independence number is a minimum of 600,000 to replace the income, to 865,000 for the total financial independence number. Okay, so again, 600,000 is off of today's dollars. It's not going to account for what they need in the future, but at this point, that don't even matter right now. We just got to get them into the habit of saving money. Okay, so we just want them to focus on 600 to 800,000, right? And then over time, we'll get them putting away more money, of course, to reach that real financial independence number. So anyway, so we got them focused on accumulate $600,000 to $800,000. That's where they're focused at right now. So then I ask the client, how much of this money do you currently have? So at this point, this is where I'm gonna find if they got money somewhere. So I'll say, how much of this $600,000 to $800,000 do you have saved up right now? Okay, it could be, do you have a current 401k? If they say yes, I'll get a little bit of information, but it's not really much I can do with that other than making sure that they're properly taking advantage of the 401k, especially if it's a matching program. Then I'm gonna ask them if they have an IRA, if they have CDs, do they have money sitting in a savings account, and do they have any old 401ks that they haven't moved over yet? You'd be surprised, and you gotta, you walk them through each of those categories one at a time. Don't run them all together. So I'll say, okay, do you have money sitting in an IRA anywhere? Then shut up. Let them answer that. Find out where that money's at. CD, you have money sitting in the bank in a CD? Again, shut up. Get the answer. What about sitting in a savings account? Shut up. Let them answer. Old 401ks. Shut up. Let them answer, right? So then once you got those, so I circle where they got the money. Once I find out where they got the money, I'm going to find out how much they have in each one of those things and how much are they contributing to that, and what is their current interest rate they're getting on it. Now, one of the biggest ones you'll see a lot is the bank savings. So they say they're saving some money in a savings account, and let's just say they have $25,000 or $50,000 sitting in there. So then at that point, you just ask them, who do you currently bank with? And let's say they say Bank of America or Wells Fargo, and that's where they got the money. Then you ask them, what's your current interest rate you're getting on that money? A lot of times they won't have a clue, or sometimes they'll say, I know it's low, it's less than 1%. Okay, have you ever heard the rule of 72? And then that's when I break out the rule of 72. So now the rule of 72, you can use the brochure if you want, because I do leave that behind. I use the Back to Basics brochures for the client, okay, or you can use the simple 6-page, whatever, or you can just use your tablet. Okay, so I explain the rule of 72, and what I do with the rule of 72 is I explain them what the rule of 72 is. It's a banking rule that the banks and insurance companies don't want you to know. It's a secret, so you got to make it a secret. It's a secret that they don't want you to know, and how they're taking advantage of folks. So let's say this money, whatever money they have in that account, you say, let's say they're giving you 1%, and they're not, but let's just say they're giving you 1%. 72 divided by 1 is 72. It's going to take 72 years for your money to double. How old are you today? And in my case, I'm 47. How old are you going to be in 72 years? I'm going to be dead, right? And so, I get them, we make jokes about it, whatever, but the fact of the matter is most of us are going to be at 100, or, if you're blessed enough to live that long, you're going to be dead, right? And so then I say, now we teach people there is a better way. We teach people to invest in mutual funds. And again, you could use the brochure or whatever, and you explain to them how the mutual funds work. It's a pool of money that some people come together, they invest in this mutual fund, and the company we use, they have financial advisors that go out and buy good stocks with that money, and we share in that pot. And so, and again, you could use a brochure, you could just explain it to them, you could use several different things, but again, we don't need to make it all cerebral with people, keep it very simple, something that they can understand. So then, here's another thing too. Sometimes we go through the, we use the elevator theory, or we're trying to explain dollar cost averaging and all this other stuff. Majority of people don't care about that. Now, if they start asking you questions about, losing money in the stock market, then you want to use those tools, but a lot of times you don't have to. If you don't have to, don't. Okay, keep it very, very simple. So anyway, what was I saying? Anyway, so you show them, investing in mutual funds, ups and downs, good and bad. The stock market is average 9% or 12% or whatever you use, and to show how that money doubles every 6 to 8 years, right? And so then you ask them, it's very simple. Listen, you got your money here. If I could show you how to double your money every 6 to 8 years versus every 72 years, would that be of interest to you? Simple question. It's a yes or no. And 99.9% they're going to say, heck yeah, let's make that happen. So you're going to be moving some money over. All right. That's for the bank savings, And then, of course, if they got old 401ks that they have not moved over, of course, you're going to move that over. They have CDs. CDs at a bank is getting maybe 1%, not much over 1%. Again, you're going to move that money over. And a lot of times when people talk about CDs, they're afraid because it's locked in. So what you got to show them is the value. Yeah, even though it's locked in for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, maybe 5 years, but it's only going to earn 1% a year or 2%. I don't care, 1%, 2%. Let's say it's 3%, which is not. You got to show them that the value that they're going to get from moving that money from that CD over into a mutual fund is going to way far outweigh that the benefits they're going to get from that CD. Okay. So again, it's just all about education. Then IRAs, a lot of people have IRAs at a bank account. Again, they're getting less than 1%. So the rule of 72 is very powerful in that aspect. All right. So once I figured out where they got the money, now I got the commitment that I can move that money over. Now here's what's awesome about that too. If you find this money and they got a significant amount of money, when it comes to the life insurance policy, see, life insurance is part of the investment strategy. So we got a lot of people in Primerica, they're big on selling life insurance, but with the life insurance, you got the chargeback problems, you got to maintain those policies. Well, there's not a problem maintaining those policies, but it's a lot easier if you got a client focused on investing and they got an insurance policy as part of your investment strategy. It's easier for you to make that phone call to that client and say, hey, Mr. and Ms. Client, I noticed you haven't been making your investment contributions lately. You said you want to have a comfortable retirement, or you want to make sure you got enough money for your kids' college. Has that changed? 9 times out of 10, no, that hasn't changed. They might have had some money problems or something came up where they couldn't make that investment. And if they didn't make their investment contribution, they also didn't make their life insurance contribution. But I don't have to hammer them on the life insurance. I just get them refocused back on their investment strategy. So if they say, yeah, Rob, something came up, I didn't, that we couldn't really make that investment. So it's easy for me to go to them and say, okay, well, listen, is this still a comfortable amount for you to invest every month? Do we need to reset it and get it started again, or do we need to make some adjustments? Doesn't matter what answer they give me. If we want to reset it, we're just going to reset it while I'm resetting the investment and the life insurance policy. If it's if we need to make some adjustments, we'll make some adjustments, right? But a lot of times, all I got to do is make adjustments to the investment. The life insurance will stay in place. So the investment is the key to everything we do. People, again, they want to talk life, not death. So you talk to them about life, about investing, where they can see a tangible, not product. Well, yeah, tangible product for their money. So every month or every year, they see their money growing. With life insurance, somebody got to die for them to get that, right? But for their investments, that's something they can see every quarter when they get your statement, or every month when they log on, or what have you. They want to see their money growing. That's speaking life. They get excited about that. All right. So after I got there, I found out where they got their money. Now, also I'm gonna find out with the life insurance. The life insurance. Now, what I'm looking for, yeah, we want to make sure they're properly protected, but we also want to make sure that uh, if they got cash value insurance, that's more money that we can invest as well. And so in that case, that's where Bank A, Bank B comes into play. Or the 5 funded rules. If you don't know what the 5 funded rules are, the 5 funded rules of cash value is for the first 3 to 5 years, uh, they have zero balance, nothing to show for their money. They're going to get a low rate of return, usually between 1 to 4% rate of return on their money. Third rule is after about 5 years, they can start taking withdrawals, but it's a loan that the insurance company is going to charge them anywhere from 6 to 8% compounded annually, right? 4, they have up to 6 months to send them that money, and 5, when they die, even though they're paying for 2 benefits, they only get 1. They get the protection or the savings, but they won't get both, right? Of course, in our program with the buy term and invest the difference side, you see your money working for you immediately. You're going to get, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12% rate of return on your money. There's no fees when you pull your money out. It's your money, unless you got an IRA or something like that. Um, uh, and you'll get your money within 3 to 5 business days. And when you die, your family gets both. So you just, when they have a cash value insurance, as long as you know the bank A, bank B, or the 5 funding rules, common sense would tell them, yes, I want to move that money out of the cash value into what you have. So once I find out where all their money is, now I can go to work. I can say, okay, so if Mr. and Miss Client, listen, if I can take the same money that you put in, that you're already using, and put a financial strategy in place that's going to help you build wealth and properly protect your family at the same time, would that be of interest to you? Yeah, if they're already using the money, then I'm going to use that same money and put them in a better position where they're going to have more savings and more protection. They're going to do business. Let's say they wasn't doing any of that. So then you got to get a commitment out of them. So let's assume that they're not putting money away. They don't have any life insurance. So I'll ask them if I can put together a financial strategy that will help you reach your financial independence number, that will protect your family in the event you die prematurely, also will allow you to have a comfortable retirement. Would that be of interest to you? Again, vast majority of people will say, heck yeah. Okay, well, now we got to figure out how much money you could comfortably afford to put away. Now, most people I sit down with can afford $250 a month. Fortunately, if you are able to put away $500 or more, and those in a real tight budget, they can put away about $100 to $150 a month. Which one describes you? And let them answer that. And whatever amount they give you, that's what you're working with. Okay, so if it's $100, could be, my average client is anywhere from, the investments that I get is anywhere from $300 to $500 a month per client. So that's why, my premium dollars are usually about $80 to $100 a month for a premium, and the rest goes into the investment. When you can get bigger commitments, you're gonna get bigger premium dollars, and you're also gonna get a bigger commitment for PACs. All right. So then after they give me that commitment, I put 3 options together for them. Option one is going to be the full dime. How much coverage they're going to need, how much that's going to cost, and how much money is left. Now, usually on option one, there's not a whole lot of money left to invest. And so what I do on the sheet here, on the bottom sheet, they got 3 options. 1, 2, 3. So, and on the bottom it says it's the full protection, monthly premium for that, how much money is left to invest, and what's the projected savings at a 9% rate of return. Option one. Option two is usually going to be the income replacement part. So in this case, say 60,000, so they need $600,000 of life insurance, whatever. So the monthly premium of that, how much money is to invest, and what's that projected to go to, whether it's a 20-year, 30-year, 25-year, whatever term you're putting them in, or let me correct that, however many years they have till they reach their retirement age is the number you want to use. So in my case, if I'm looking at 20 years, close, 20, 22 years before I'm 65, so I'm gonna do a 20 to 25-year term. I'll probably shoot for the 25-year term. So I'm going to do a 25-year term and a 25-year investment program, right? So projected income savings in 25 years is X amount of dollars. And then, of course, at a 9% rate of return, okay? And then, of course, third option is going to be your bare minimum. Your bare minimum is going to be, what I do with the third option, I split that money 50-50. So let's say let's say it's $100 a month commitment, right? Because they're on a real tight budget. Okay, well, it might be $50 for the life insurance and $50 for the investment. I always want to make sure that whatever option they choose, there's going to be some money for them to invest. But let's say they choose option one, and their commitment was $200 a month, and the life insurance portion is going to cost I'm just using a ridiculous number. Say it's $190 a month for the life insurance. So that means there's only $10 left, right? Okay, well, Primerica has blessed us with the opportunity to get the client in the habit of savings again. So it's $10 a month going into the FAB account. So I don't care if it's a FAB account or if it's an IRA or just a regular mutual fund. you have to get the client in the mindset of putting money away. Okay, and so with the FAB account, for you guys that don't know the FAB account, all that is a money market account attached to the life insurance policy. Okay, so it's a good holding bucket for you non-security licensed people. You can start building your assets under management in that bucket. I always tell my reps that aren't securities licensed, if the client has under $50 to put away into a mutual fund, you go ahead and put it in a FAB account. Start building your assets under management, so when they get their securities license, they can go revisit those clients and open up IRAs or what have you. If the client has more than $50 to put away, then of course they're going to contact me or somebody that's security licensed in our office to go set up a mutual fund for that client. All right, so yeah, that's how we. Oh, and then last but not least, let's say a person can only do $100 or $200 a month, right? But their financial independence number is $600,000 to $1 million. Okay, so let's say $200 a month. The life insurance is $70, and you got $130 to invest, and you got a 25 year window to invest. And I'm just throwing numbers out there, but let's just say that $130, so all that's going to grow to is $300,000 in 20 years, right? Well, obviously there's a shortfall. So that shortfall is going to be, let's say it only grew to 300,000. Well, and they need $1 million, right? So that means they're going to be $700,000 short, right? So on this bottom sheet, I'll show them the shortfall between your retirement goal and what you're projected to have. You're going to be $700,000 short. In order to accumulate that $700,000 in that 25-year period or 20-year period, what have you, you need to invest another $800 a month. Again, that's just an example. Mr. Ms. Client, do you have an additional $800 a month you can invest? Now, you'll be surprised how many people will say, well, yeah, I do, right? You won't know that if you don't ask, right? You say, okay, well, and you do? Yeah, so hitting that $1 million mark is important to you, right? Yeah. So then we need to go ahead and dump that $800 a month into this investment I'm going to open up for you, so you can find some money there. If they don't have the money, well, guess what? We have a recruiting opportunity, right? Mr. Client, you have a couple of options then. You can reduce your goals and dreams, is retiring at age 60 or 65 with $5,000 a month coming in. Is that important to you? Yeah, that's important to me. Okay, then, well, reducing that goal is not an option, right? Right. Okay. Well, another option is you need to make some more money. Can you go to your job and ask for, an additional $800 a month raise? No. Okay, so making money on your job is not an option, right? Right. So what if I can help you make an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a month part time? Work with me without you jeopardizing your job. You continue doing what you're doing, but you can put $800 a month away, make enough money with us, so you can put $800 or more a month away. Would that be of interest to you? And they will say, yeah, and then you recruit them. So I hope this helps. You guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up, and we can talk about it. Shoot for the moon.